I usually have someone doing this for me. Oh, so we are live, April. So we
Yay.
are live. It's a great day today. It's Tuesday, is the 20th.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful day. So before we get started, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share the broadcast, okay? And then we're going
sure.
to go ahead and dig right in and have some fun. Let's see. So as I mentioned, I don't usually do this. I usually have someone that does all my social media stuff, just like you. And so bear with me for just a moment. I'm going
Sure.
to share this. Let's see. And we're going to have a great time today. Let's see. Okay, so I think that's me. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have a great time. So once again, everyone, good afternoon and hello. My name is Claudine Hicks. Welcome back to Claudine's Bites of Inspiration, where we have real people offering real solutions. I am super, super excited today about our special guest. Our special guest, she is a wife, she is a mommy, a serial entrepreneur, and she is a world traveler. She is one of the things I found out that she's a lover of life and people. And she believes that most anything is possible. And she loved the challenge of seeing if it is so. Her
Mhm.
desire is to inspire others to dream, pay it forward in every regard, and consistently live with expectation in knowing something great is right around the corner. That alone blew me away. I love that right there about you. She recently started a new company, and it is a clothing apparel brand which promotes I am statements all over the world, where people will finally believe that I am beautiful, I am brave, I am powerful, I am smart, I am courageous, I am loved. Now,
Mhm.
will you please help me welcome our special guest, April Reed? Yay! Yay, April. Once
Yeah.
again, I'm so, so, so glad to have you to be a part of my first of all, my first live broadcast. I'm so glad that you said yes. I know that you have a very busy schedule. And so before we even dig in, April, I do have one question to ask you. So I see that you love to travel. And as I told you before, followed you for years. How has it been since COVID?
Yeah.
As far as traveling and I think you went to, is it is it called Genevieve? Is that where you went the last time?
Oh,
Did
where
you went to, or
I didn't go there. I haven't been. So COVID and travel in general, it was
okay,
tough. I mean, it was tough, like any of us,
yeah,
where you just kind of like get used to this new normal of being locked in your house.
yes,
But it
yes,
also created, I don't know about you, it created this stir in me to like get out and go and do the
yes, yes,
so
yes,
I would say it ended up being a balancing act because I wanted to respect the fact that what COVID was and is.
yes,
But I also didn't want to to be honest, I protected my children on what was really going on.
yes.
I didn't want them to really even know. So
Okay,
we did actually travel quite a bit. We went to
okay,
Georgia. My parents had they have 5 acres, and so we
okay,
rented RVs and parked
okay,
it in their backyard, and that
okay,
was really fun.
okay.
We went we went up to the mountains in Blue Ridge, Georgia. I got married
Yes,
actually.
that's exciting. Something new. Yes,
So,
congratulations.
thank you. We went to St. Lucia. And then when the British Virgin Islands opened up in
Okay,
December, I went to down to Necker Island and
okay.
then brought the kids skiing in Utah. So
Mhm.
we got around. We
Oh,
went
you
to
so you traveled. Yeah, you weren't scared.
the
Okay.
Florida Keys. Yeah,
Yes,
so we really tried to get out
yes,
and go. I mean, it's like you said, I love to travel, so
yes.
it's hard to lock me in.
Yeah. I was wondering because, like, especially those that, like I said, love to get out. I know some people that I've talked to that loves to travel. They're like, okay, I feel like I'm losing it. I've got to get out, but because of COVID, and depends on how you feel about it. Of course, we know it's real, but okay, I got to stay in, or I'm just going to just go out there and enjoy life. We
Right.
only get one life to live out here, so let's just go ahead and just enjoy life. So,
Yeah, and wanting to be sensitive to the
of
situation.
course, yes,
Yeah, but you weren't going to hold us back.
I hear you.
We're
Yeah.
going next month.
Yeah, we actually just stayed in and just watched everything or everyone go by. I didn't do all that you did, but I actually I'm from Illinois. And so I actually, I think when everything started opening up slowly, I went back home to Illinois just to visit, my mom. And when I went to the airport, it felt so good. It was empty. I felt like I was by myself on a runway. I just took my time, April, and I just strolled the runway. I just took my time, but I liked it quiet. I mean, because when you get to the airport, first of all, it's so busy. But it was just so fun. I told my husband, I said, I could do this if it's quiet like this. Because like I said, the airport can get so busy. But I was, of course, a bit nervous. You're traveling and you've heard so many stories like it's in the air, in the aircraft. And so, but I just went, I covered myself. I'm like, I'm just going to go and enjoy myself. Good. And so, yeah. I didn't mind. I didn't, like I said, do a lot of travel, but I did just go to Illinois once we opened up a little bit. Let me just try to get my feet wet. Let me just try it over here. Yeah. And so that was, like I said, was kind of fun. So once again, congrats. I did hear you got married. Yeah. So that's something exciting, even through COVID. That's something you did. Was it a big wedding? Did you do something small because of COVID or?
No, we went all out. We're like, you know what? We wanted to get married and then COVID came. And then we were like, you know what? We're just going to do this. So we went a county north of us, which was more open. And they originally said we could have, I think, 140 people. And we ended up having about 140 to 150. And I mean, people came from all over the world. I think we had 7 countries.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was amazing. Everyone, I think, was just looking for a reason to
travel. Yes.
I mean, we did the wedding outside, but it was, I mean, we celebrated and everyone was healthy and happy. Yes. It was awesome. So
I saw some of the pictures. It was beautiful. Yes, it was beautiful.
It was great.
Planning. So let's just go ahead. And so one of the things I know that you also do, you're also a coach. I don't know if you want to call it a life coach or coach at I Am April Reed. So can you share us a little bit? I know we'll tap into, making all things new, but what is that? What is, your coaching? What do you offer? What is it really?
So I actually just recently launched this and people have encouraged me to start a coaching business or start, putting myself out there. But in all fairness, Claudine, I've just been spread a little too thin and I didn't want to do something if I couldn't really give it my all.
Yes.
And so this year, actually, I have launched it and I really believe that everybody can live an upgraded life. That's what I call it, and I go from the mentality of, have you ever walked into the airport and as you're checking in, someone's like, oh, here, Miss Hicks, you've been upgraded to first class, or you ever decided to splurge and upgrade yourself. Well, there's this feeling that you get. You're like,
yes, of course. Yes. Yes.
Did you see? I'm sitting in first class.
Yes. Yes.
You hold your head up a little higher.
Yes, we do.
You feel validated and you feel worthy and you feel wealthy and you feel important, and it's like, I remember that first time I'm sitting in first class and I'm like,
this feels good. Yes. Yes. Yes.
My whole thing is I really believe that God created us to live that way every day, all the time.
Yes.
But we just think that we're worthy of coach.
Yes, that's true. So
you know what I mean? Because we're so used to it. Or maybe we've never been on a plane, or if we've ever been on a plane, we just naturally sit and coach. So we sit in our
That
seat.
Is so true. Yes.
Versus it's if we're God's children, we've been upgraded.
Yes. Woo. Yes. Yes.
Upgraded. And so what I did is I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call it the upgraded life. And then I broke it into 4 pillars, and it's business upgrade, or professional upgrade. How can you upgrade your life in business and in, professional? Financial upgrade, which I think is, to me, the thing that we miss the most, because we can't even think upgraded because we're struggling financially, which to me is just all a big facade and a lie. And it's simply because people don't know what they don't know.
That is true.
Personal upgrade. How do we begin to rewire and reprogram ourselves, our minds, our hearts, our spirits, our souls, who we are, so that we can walk this upgraded life. And then spiritual upgrade.
Yes.
Which to me is the core of everything.
Yes. Amen. That's good.
Yeah, so we do coaching calls every other week, and I break it down into 2 pillars. They're hour-and-a-half calls, and then we huddle up in the off weeks to meet. So it's been really neat. It's challenging me to say, okay, how can I add the most value to
Yes.
people who come, and
Mhm.
and really beginning to upgrade their life. And it's neat. I mean, I've only been doing this for a few months, Claudine, and we have people that
Mhm.
have bought land that they're already developing
Wow.
commercially on. We have people that have paid off their debts. We have people that have
Wow.
already made thousands of dollars, which they didn't even know. We
Yes.
understand,
Yes.
like net worth. What is net worth? How do you get that? How do you, build that? How do I understand what's holding me back? What is
Yes.
the purpose of a vision board? How do we set
Yes.
goals? How am I wired from an Enneagram perspective? I mean, we're just going into all the things and
Yes.
trying to turn all these light bulbs on so that it's not only sitting in the coach, it's then first class, from first class to flying private, from flying private to having your own plane, girl.
Yes. Yes. You're speaking my language. I'm going to sign up when we get off of here. Sign up. Yes. Wow. So the 4 pillars, I want to make sure. So the 4 pillars is business upgrade, financial upgrade, personal upgrade, and of course, spiritual upgrade. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I bring in guest
Wow.
speakers from all over, and
Okay.
they just come in and add value and teach on what their giftings are.
Yes.
I've had real estate experts and all the trading experts, stock experts, marketing experts. And so I just bring in people that I'm like, it's not all about April,
Right. Yes.
bringing the talent and people that know more than me to say, hey, you're way smarter than me. Can you come teach? Thanks.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I love that. Yes. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's been fun.
Wow. You see, you've only been doing it a few months, though. You said,
Yeah.
right? You've
Yeah.
already seen. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow, you've already seen the changes. Hey there, Annette. Somebody just kind of waved and said hello. Hey there, Annette. Thank you so much for joining April and I. So I'm definitely going to get some more information so we can put out there so we can share the I Am April Reed coaching program. Okay, we definitely want to do that. So now I want to definitely now go to, as far as, I'm not going to say the meat of it, because that alone took me out what you just shared. 'Cause like you just said, because who doesn't want to live the upgraded life? And I'm just going to say this. I know I only did coach once, but let me tell you, when they called for coach, oh, I got up, with my head held high, and I felt so good. I felt important. I,
Yes.
I felt like I was someone, not like we're not someone, but I felt so important. I felt it was a different feel. And
Mhm.
even like you just said,
Right.
sitting in coach, it felt different. And why not? This is what the Lord wants for us, an upgraded life.
Mhm.
We get so comfortable with the norm. I'm not gonna say it's the norm, but we sometimes get so comfortable with what we've been doing. And
Mhm.
don't think that, yes, the Lord does definitely want to bless us. He does want to upgrade us. So thank you so much. That was good.
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
good.
that was good.
Because
That-
it's true. I mean, and
yes.
all of a sudden, when we can picture ourselves sitting in first class,
Yes.
or next time you go to buy a ticket and you're like, no, I'm going to splurge and buy those front row seats or those VIP seats.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like stresses you out, which it shouldn't.
Yes.
Then that tells me you don't think you're worthy,
That
or
is
that you
true.
don't think you have enough when you do.
Yes. Yes.
So
That is
again, it
true.
all comes down to what you believe, and then getting to that place where you're like, oh my gosh, like I am worthy. I do have
Yes.
enough. I
Yes.
know where my help comes from. I
Yes.
know where I belong.
Yes.
And it's this it's almost this sweet acceptance of who we are versus
Mhm.
this false pride that we think
Yes.
like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, do you know that my daddy's a king? Because I'm
Yes.
saying,
Yes. Yes.
I can,
Yes.
I can tell you those little secrets,
Yes. Yes.
So, and just really I think the Lord just I think it just makes him smile when we actually walk in our inheritance and our blessing and our favor that he wants us to.
Amen.
Where he's like, yes, yes, my daughter.
It is yours. Yes. It's
Yes.
yours for the asking. That is so good. Wow. That is so good. Girl, I already got my little notes. I got about 20 things already on my little notebook. I have things in front of me and I'm typing stuff and I'm putting stuff in here and notes in my phone. This is all so good. And so even with the upgrade, what made you, I guess, I know we have a theme or a title. What made you decide to go into the coaching? I know one of the things is you love people. You want to see people prosper. You want to see them upgrade. Was it anything in particular that made you, the person that you are to want to see others flourish, to see others grow?
Like I said, I think it's just one of my passions. I
Mhm.
love people, and I love seeing
Yeah.
those light bulb moments. And Yeah, no, I mean, just doing it. I did have a good friend, John, that really was like, girl, you need to do this. I'm going to help you. And so he kind of like took the initiative to really help birth the business and do like a
Okay.
framework for me.
Okay.
John, I can't. And then I actually, you know that you say this, I was on a podcast and the other day, and I hadn't yet started it. Now that you say this, this is jogging the memory, which this is a good
This is
teachable
good.
moment for everybody.
Yeah.
So actually, it was in January, and they had asked me something along the lines of, have you ever considered like a coaching call or speaking or getting on a platform or, doing whatever? And I said, I have really struggled with this my whole life. And
Oh,
because
wow.
it was like, you need to speak. I see you on a stage. I see you in front of crowds, like whatever.
Oh, yes.
And he said, why do you struggle with it? And Claudine, my eyes filled up. No, my eyes didn't fill up with tears yet. And I said, because I don't want to make it about me. And so there's limiting beliefs that
Yes.
that it's gonna be all about April. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, and I don't want it to be all about me. And so I really like wrestled with this.
Okay.
And he leaned in and he said, do you realize that every time you aren't opening your voice or speaking or doing what you're probably called to do, there's other people suffering? And that
wow.
And I was just like, he's like, so I think you're just being selfish.
Wow.
I was like, I mean, there's like 200 people on the call. And so that to me was that really pushed because I realized it's not about you, April.
Yes, it's not. Yes.
I don't share my story. I don't know if I'm not vulnerable, if I don't take, the things that I've gone through, which has been a lot, and share it in order to give hope, in order to, or in order to upgrade, like, like I know what it's like to own a plane. So it's like, then I want to bring people there. You know what I mean? Maybe not everybody wants to own a plane, but it's like, come on, everyone, it's the same. Like it's all equal. And so, that's really why I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. Okay.
And I think when I even reached out to you, that's one of the things I said to you. I said, I believe you have something to offer, because sometimes we feel like you just said, well, I don't want to see me. I want to see the Lord, but not knowing that your story is almost like, you're writing your story, even as you go by the good, the bad, the not so, not so great, the wonderful, that even as you're going through this thing, that the Lord is still present. That they do, that the Lord is still present, that we see you, yes, but we also see the Lord in you. And one of the things I thought about while you were talking is, I think of like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We see them in the fiery furnace. And even while they were going through what they're going through, a lot of times we think, okay, I'm going through this thing. God, help me get out of this thing. But really, while you're in, if this makes sense, while you're in the fire, it's not really for you sometimes. It's for someone else. You're carrying, yes, it hurts. The pain hurts, the whatever it is, the abandonment, all rejection, all that hurts. But a lot of times we go through it and you're like, Lord, it hurts really bad. But really, it's not for you. It's for someone else to see on the other side. Oh my God, April made it through. So surely there is hope for me. Surely I can come out of this thing. So yes, I get it when the young man said to you, it's kind of selfish. And it hurts. The truth hurts, doesn't it?
Yes.
It hurts.
But it was so good. It was what I needed. I needed you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, got it.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it was definitely that wake up call. And I agree. I think that there's power in our testimony, and instead, we need to share. We have to share that story. We have to share the power in the testimony, because that's where things change. That's where lives change, environments change, and situations change.
Yes.
And
Wow, that was good. But I'm so glad that you said yes and is able to share, because once again, there is power in our testimonies. You don't know who it's going to bring out, because a lot of times I've talked to, I know in the last few months, actually, I've had a few people that I've talked to that just said, life is just really, really hard and feel like it's dragging me down. And so, as a believer, or as even their friend, all I can do is encourage them and just, share my own story. And like I said, sometimes our story is not pretty.
Right.
But, oh my God, we made it to the other side. And all I can do is say, hey, I'll get down on the dirt with you and cry with you. But hey, you're going to come out. I don't mind sharing my story if it's going to help someone else.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's also part of, I'm not sure if you've listened to other podcasts on, but part of me is really wanting to share my story is because I can relate to women. I was married to an addict, so I understand what it is to be married to, addiction, the divorce, being a single mom. I have 4 kids, and going through this to being a woman in the business place that owns businesses, and then, I was a military wife. I went through infertility, and there's all these different things that it's like, I wouldn't take back any of it. And I am so grateful that I have had those experiences, because it's dark places and it's lonely places, but at the same time, like, it's when I can, like you said, go into the fire with somebody and be like, no, like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I know the topic that you called this is, making all things new.
Yes.
When it's true, we don't ever stay where we think we're going to stay. And every day is hard. Let's be honest. I mean, there's always something that's going to come against us, but it also, where are we fixing our eyes? What do we believe?
Yes.
How do we see our future looking?
Yes.
And I've been practicing that for years. Being able to see.
So do you think that's part of, even while you were going through, because you had your eyes focused on the Lord, like, I know I'm going to come out of this. Is that one of the reasons that you believe that you're walking in the new, that you're able to share your story?
Ooh. So, I mean, it's funny because it's like, you hear the church says, like, God makes all things new. And then there's worship songs like, He makes all things new, and we're in creation and new. And I don't feel new.
Yeah, true. Yes.
Today, it's not a new day.
Yes.
Like, joy comes in the morning. I'm like,
when is the morning?
Yeah. Like, there's this, like, conundrum of understanding, like, what is new? Like, what does that actually mean?
Yes.
And how do I physically, mentally, tangibly, spiritually own that and manifest that place? And so you had mentioned the fact that I started a company called Illuminative.
Yes.
And on my clothes, it says I am, like you said, I am. So for example, when I was married to, somebody that was caught up in addiction, and I finally knew it was time for me to pack up my 4 babies and walk out that door. And it was one of the scariest, probably the scariest things I've ever done. The house was really toxic. Our relationship was toxic. There was a lot of fear associated to him. And, I to be honest, I thought I was going to be a Dateline special. So to have the courage to take the 4 babies, take my suitcases and leave, took probably, more bravery and courage than I've ever done in my life.
Yes.
In those moments, Claudine, like, I had to ask myself, what do I believe? And at that moment, I had to believe I was brave. I had to believe I was courageous. I had to believe I was loved. I didn't know if I was going to be okay.
Yes. Yes.
But I had to believe who I was. When I stand in that place of even hearing who God says I am, you know what I mean? You're brave, my daughter. You are courageous. You are loved. And I'm listening to him. It's only in those places where my inner man, the inside of me, finds that newness, finds that wholeness.
Yes.
And only in that place. So in the darkest of times, it always comes down to, what are we hearing? Who am I hearing that God says I am? Who am I hearing that what he has for me? His plans are to prosper me and not to harm me.
Yes. Yes.
Plans to give me a hope and a future.
Yes.
So it's like, I either choose to find that and believe it, or I don't. Your focus flows, your energy flows. And what happens is the new, if you're looking at new versus old and really trying to, like, understand, for, anybody who's listening, like, how do I, but the old is all I see. The past is all I see. The pain is all I see. The shame, the regret, the whatever. And it's like, whoa, it has to step aside, because if
Yes.
not,
For the new
the
to come.
goodness, the joy, you know what I mean? Like it's working that muscle. It's working that muscle. It's working that muscle to the place where it's like we can then walk in it. Like I knew
Yes.
God was going to bring me another husband. Like I knew it. I knew the life for my children was going to be a house full of laughter and love and
Yes.
silliness and wholeness. Like I knew it. I
Yes.
knew it because I know. And that's in those places of newness. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be scary. It doesn't mean
Yes.
that it's not, going to be full of pain.
Mhm.
I mean, welcome to life. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Those places where it's like,
Mm.
I can rest in the new because I know who I am.
Wow. I believe I heard one of the things I believe I heard is you just said it is what we're listening to. What voice we're listening to, and then you can rest in the new because you know who you are, and goes back to your clothing line. That I am courageous. I can do this. I will come out of this. I am brave. I am strong. So those are the two things that kind of highlighted. We have to be careful what we're allowing to get into our ears, what we're hearing, and how we see ourselves too. Do we believe what the Lord says concerning us? About us. So.
And even when you don't, so why I love it is like, it's so easy for me to say, Claudine, like, oh, you're so beautiful.
Mhm.
But for you to look in the mirror and say, you know what,
Mhm.
Claudine, I am beautiful. Or
Yes.
for me to be like, April,
Yes.
I am beautiful. And
Yes.
then it's like, right away, we'll feel like a pushback. Like,
Yeah, of course. Yes.
like I don't.
Yes.
It's the same thing of when we're sitting in coach, like we were just talking about.
Yes.
What?
Mhm.
Who says so? Who says that you're
Mhm.
not supposed to be sitting in first? You know what I mean?
Yes.
What is it?
Yes.
Why can I not, you know what I mean? Like, see how God sees me. He sees
Yes.
me as beautiful,
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's like these things, it's this place where I think that the lies or the deception of what we have continued to believe keeps us
Yes.
in
For
that
years.
place of new beginnings
Yes.
and really genuinely walking in newness,
Yeah.
and wholeness of life.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Those two go together. Yes. Definitely. Yes. Yes. And one of the scriptures that actually just came to mind is, it says, I believe it's 3 John, it says, I wish above all things that we'll prosper and be in health, even as our soul prospers. And the Lord wants us, even with our upgrade, for our soul to be well. He wants us to be whole so we
Yeah.
can enjoy the new. Because what is the purpose of we're enjoying the upgrade or the new? Well, I'm not going to say you can't really enjoy the full new if your soul is not prospering. You've
Right.
got to believe who you are, begin to speak those things,
Mhm.
speak what the Lord is saying concerning you. And if you don't know what to say, I don't know if I should say go to the Bible and just read, what he really says about you, that, I wish above all things you should prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. He
Mhm.
called you, he set you apart. You
Mhm.
are his, you are the righteousness of God, and that he's, you're with him, or he's with you always. And so I'm so grateful once again. Like I said, you actually shared some things I didn't know you were going to share. And I'm grateful that you're open, because we want
Mhm.
people free that's going to watch the broadcast, whether it's live or later. We want you all free and to have hope that this is what new look like. This is
Mhm.
what upgrade looks like in April's life. Like I said, you just really encourage me. I may not be facing or have faced the same things you have faced, but your message, some of the things you've shared on social media have brought me hope. Like I can live that life, even with our little thing we did before this, talking
Mhm.
about that I am April Reed. I'm not playing. I will be contacting. I will be signing up because I'm ready for my upgrade. I'm up there in 40s. I'm ready to be upgraded to
Yeah.
enjoy all the great things the Lord has for his daughter, me
Yeah.
as his daughter, you as his daughter. So
You reminded me something that I do like to share, and that's for the single moms, because single moms really they have to wear both hats. They have to be mom and dad a lot of times, especially if dad's not in the picture. And they also carry a lot of guilt, of doing it all by themselves, maybe not being enough. And when you were sharing the scripture of God knit me together in my mother's womb and formed me, one of the things that I always make sure to share with single parents, it doesn't even have to be a single mom, but single parents, is to tell their children who made them. Because it's not their mommy and their daddy. It's God made them. And,
Yes.
and we just got to steward it. So
Yes.
my children mom and dad didn't make them.
Yeah.
God did.
Yes.
Because if they believe that mom and dad made them and now dad's not around or mom's not around,
yes. Right.
I wonder why we have these abandonment issues. And it's like, you guys have it all wrong. You didn't make them. You got to steward them. God did. God knit them together. And and then they can find their identity in God. And so my children, it's them and God. I just get to steward their little bodies for a little bit.
Yes.
They just get to live under my roof. It doesn't mean they have anything less than.
Right. Yes.
Always God. Always.
That is so good. And it's crazy. You said, I know you said you focus that more when it comes to single mothers, but my children, let me say, she's going to be 30 next month. I have a 21-year-old and I have a 16-year-old. And I am just now saying to the Lord, once again, because like I said, sometimes we get caught up like, yeah, I created them, but I'm just now, and I'm going to be honest and transparent, just saying, God, I mean, I knew it, but I never said it. God, I'm like, God, thank you for allowing me to have these babies and to steward them. Yeah. And I'm like, God, I'm so grateful. And it's like, Lord, forgive me for thinking that I was the one that was doing everything, but God, I thank you. According to the word, you said that you formed them before you even, and knew them before you even placed them in my womb. Yep. So I thank you, my babies come from you. So I know it's for the single, but girl, it goes for all the mothers, all the parents as a reminder.
And then we have grace for ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, oh, how bad am I going to mess up my kids?
Yes. Yes.
What kind of counseling are they going to need?
I know, right? Yes.
But if we can let that go and realize like, we're just here to do the best that we can.
Yes.
Especially people that have a relationship with God, to where it's like, I'm going to just be his vessel. You know what I mean? Like mommy's doing the best that I can, you know, I'm just trying to let God love on me. I'm going to love on you. And I'm going to teach you the same. Let God love on you and live in you. And then you do the same. Yes. And
that's good.
They do. Yeah. I think it takes a lot of that guilt and that pressure and that like, and or abandonment or the lies, the seeds that aren't real.
Yes. That is so good. I know we're talking about, all things new, but that is so good. That is so good. Because like I said, once you let your children know, their age, they can understand certain things, and you share with them that, the Lord gave you to me. And once again, when, certain things happen, like, there's a separation or whatever it is that I don't believe the enemy can use that wedge as far as that abandonment. Yeah, we will have things to deal with, or, rejection, all that stuff, because they know who they come from.
Right.
And so thank you. That was really good. That's a message right there. I'm gonna have to maybe have to teach that one day, but that was really good.
It gets our eyes off of our parents.
Yes.
It takes our eyes off of the blame game.
Yes.
All of it. It's like
yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. That was really good. That yeah. Because like I said, I really just started saying that to the Lord this year, like, God, I thank you. I really thank you that I'm their parents. I've actually been saying that to them too. I'm like, I'm really grateful the Lord chose me, me and your daddy. I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much for that reminder, April. I really appreciate it. So let's go back to the all things new. Yeah. So how are you walking out this new thing? I know we know you have your clothing line, of course, the I Am April Reed coaching program. Yeah. What else is new in your life, or how are you walking out and enjoying this, this new that the Lord is doing in your life?
Yeah, there's lots of new stuff. So actually, so COVID, I think, either helped us or hurt us. And again, I think it's perspective in the way we live. You know what I mean? Like, did it hurt you or did it help you? For me, it helped me. Yes. And I have had a business since 2008. And I kind of stepped away, and I had a president and a team that runs it. And she called me, and we work in the hospitals nationwide. And she said, hey, I feel like we're going to lose like a lot of our business because of COVID, this, that, and the other. Well, what did we do? We went right into brainstorming on new. What do we do? Go from here? And so we now have launched like a whole new business. I'm back in the saddle. We've hired new people. We're doing new things that we've never done at that business.
Oh, wow.
And like, when you said new, and I was like, it's so fun and exciting because when you're in this new season, building and like having something fun to do, it's been amazing. And so I'm just so thankful to like have a brain that I can use and sit there and think, how do I make this new, you know? And that's awesome. Especially when, COVID, it could have been like, oh, everyone canceled our contracts. We're out of business. I guess let's just go eat worms. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's true. It's how we look at, like you just said, our perspective on the matter. So yes.
Yeah. And then,
Mhm.
and as I mentioned, I got newly married. So
Yes.
that was fun. So
Yes,
that's
it's always fun.
things new
Yes.
in that regards. And so I don't know. I mean, to me, it really is. It's always like, I believe that it's so important to have vision.
Yes, I
And
believe so too.
yeah, and I feel like when you have vision of where your life is going, like I love to ask people, where do you see your life in 3 years, 5 years, even 10?
Mhm.
And 90% of the time they go like this.
Mm. Wow. Yeah, well,
I'm like,
yes.
what?
Yeah.
Come on. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I have to take them down to just like, okay, picture your home. What does your home feel like? What's the
Yes.
atmosphere? Because it doesn't always have to be things. Like,
Yes, of course, yes.
what does it feel like? What is it, that you're doing? Or if
Mhm.
people are single, like, are you with somebody? I
Mhm.
don't know. I really hope so. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I, well, I am. You know,
Right.
I know what we're doing. And
Yes, yeah.
I
Yes.
love to create new, and I love to dream, and I love to dream with God, obviously, and see like,
Yes.
hey, what do you have for us, and what do you have for me, and
Mhm.
what can I do to further, you know what I mean, like who God is for me, and then other people's
Yes.
lives. So I feel like I'm always working on something new. People are like, "Girl, do you ever sleep?" You understand, Claudine?
Yes.
You ever slow down? I'm like,
Yes, yes.
mm, well, describe slowing down.
That is true. So now that you've said that, so let me ask you, so how do you balance that then? How do you,
Yeah,
balance newlywed,
yeah.
and, of course, the children? How do you balance? And of course, as I've mentioned, serial entrepreneur, you're always coming up with something new and how to better, which is great. We should all be working on how
Yeah.
to better. Because I think one of the things we do, I know I am guilty of it, is I get that 3 months of my business, I do coaching and also have a travel business, a travel business. And I get those 2, 3 months that looks really good and I get comfortable. I've been guilty of that. So instead of saying, okay, so how else can I improve this? And
Yeah.
so how do you balance while you're going through the new and you're starting a new company or you're, in revision, how do you balance all that out?
Yeah. So, couple things. One, I'm going to answer your question, then I'm going to add a little bit onto that
Okay.
because I do think it's very important and
Okay.
hard lessons that I've learned. So, the
Okay.
balance comes in boundaries. And I'm sure, other people know this too, but the balance comes in boundaries. I am mom until I drop my kids off at school at 7:05.
Mm,
You know what
okay.
I mean? The time I wake up, if I'm up early enough to have some me time, and then
Mhm.
kid time, mom time, get them ready for school, get them out the door.
Okay.
And then I have work hours just like anybody else would. I come to my office, I'm in my office,
Mhm.
and I work basically 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 8
Mhm.
to 4. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm flexible and,
Right.
because I
Mhm.
work for myself, but I work just like anybody else. And then
Mhm.
in the nighttime, I'm mom again. Now
Mhm.
I missed my husband, you know what I mean? So it's
Yes.
like, oh,
Mhm.
but you're a new wife. How do you do that?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we purposely do lunch together. We sometimes do early dinners, or sometimes we take our evenings out. We always
Mhm.
try to have date night on the weekends.
Wonderful.
But he's really an incredible partner. So one is creating those boundaries first and foremost and scheduling your day. So I shared this with you, but like I live and die by my calendar. My calendar has
Mhm.
to protect my time. So
Yes.
if you wanted to meet, at 7 o'clock at night, it probably
Mhm.
would have been a hard no.
Yes.
Like, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I'm not going to compromise it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's having those because I set those boundaries. So that's
Yes.
one, how I quote unquote juggle it all. Two, I have an incredible team of people. And so, I have employees at every business. And
Mhm.
so surrounding yourself with the right people, that care as much as you, which is really
Yes.
defined.
Yes. That's good.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah. And so, but I can't ever take the credit or the glory because it's the team,
Yes.
and I think I don't think it's right to pat myself on the back when I'm like, are you
Mhm.
kidding me? Like, do you see how
Yeah.
smart these people are that work?
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
But
That's good.
then the one thing that I wanted to say in regards to this, again, hoping that somebody needs to hear this, is,
Mhm.
I have, we've already talked about several. I have EHR Concepts, a healthcare IT company. I have a
Yes.
clothing business. I have my coaching business. I actually
Mhm.
have a book that's coming out. So and so. So it's always like, I can't even keep up,
Yes.
So this is where I have gone wrong. And this is where I have made big mistakes is I will get so passionate about one, or about three of them, four of them, or about my ministry or about my volunteer career or about my new company. And it's like where I become passionate. That's where all your energy goes. And I have become passionate and thinking I'm going to create purpose. I'm creating change. I'm motivated by love. Look at all the good I'm doing. And it's taking my time. It's taking my money, not making money, and it's not moving my life forward. But I'm passionate, Claudine. And I wish that I matured to the place that I am now. Of having looked back and realizing, because I have lost millions of dollars chasing passions, and hoping I'll just put a little bit more money and I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make a difference. I know it, or this will, not me. This is going to change everything.
Yes.
And when really I had a business that was thriving and growing that I was paying no attention to. But my passion project was getting everything. And so I always tell people, be very careful of your passions, because what happens is we can get hijacked emotionally. And if we're hijacked emotionally, it will keep us from living that upgraded life, especially if we're hijacked emotionally. So we were talking about the soul earlier. Your soul is your mind, your will, and emotions.
Yes.
So what happens is your soul has to stay central, your spirit has to stay on top, and then your body will be held whole.
Yes.
You have to be careful of that emotional hijack, that mental hijack, because it will rob, it'll take, it'll steal, it'll rob, it'll kill. And you've got to focus on what is actually moving your life forward. And then that's where your boundaries go. Like you said, how do you do it all? I now have learned to focus on what is moving my life forward that's going to leave a legacy to my children and an inheritance and their children's children and other people. And I will not give time to something that isn't doing that. It doesn't deserve my time anymore, even if it's my passion.
Wow. You just said, I mean, my phone is blowing up. Folks are typing it. Instead of putting in the chat, my mama, I got Annette texting me like passion. Wow. I've never heard it said that way. Give me a moment.
It's a hijack.
Wow.
And it has hurt me. And it has lost me almost everything. And I finally woke up and said, what am I doing other than pursuing something that's not leaving an inheritance for my children?
Give me a moment. Wow. I mean, I'm in tears, internally. Because I've been doing the opposite, like you just said, when it comes to balance, because I've gotten so caught up in, like I said, what I was so passionate about instead of what's moving me forward.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch this about two more times. You just, like I said, my phone is blowing up. And I just, about what you just said, that is so wow. Okay.
So on, not to do a plug for me at all, but if people want to go to I Am April Reed, I have 2 challenges. One is a 21-day challenge, and it's free. It's completely free. And then the other one is a 7-day masterclass. I would really encourage you or your audience to do that 21-day. It's 5 minutes a day. That's it. And I take people through this purpose versus passion. During that 21 days to illuminate these, epiphanies, to these revelations, these aha moments, because it's like, well, hold on, is your purpose really your passion? Or do we have it all backwards? So if you want to do that 21 days, it's a commitment, but it's only 5 minutes. I'm like, if everyone wake up and do these 5 minutes.
Yes, 5 minutes.
But it's I don't know. I mean, I think it's good.
Okay, so I'm going. Okay, can we put that in the notes?
Totally free. The 21-day challenge is free. The 7-day masterclass is free. But specifically in the 21-day, we get into like the passion versus purpose, and there's a handbook that comes with it too.
Oh gosh, I can't. you didn't prepare me for this part because I don't know if you hurt my feelings because I want to get upgraded. I did pray. I said, Lord, I really want to get upgraded in my life and different things. So, okay, thank you for speaking through April, Holy Spirit, because I needed that. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like I said, I don't mind putting myself out there and saying that was me. I was very guilty of that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Wow. And if you all please check her out, I am April Reed, and sign up for that 21-day challenge, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do it with your audience too. You guys could just do it.
Yes, you're right. Yes. Okay. Yes.
It would be really fun. It's fun to do it as like a group too. And then you could just kind of start a text thread,
Yes. And I actually was going to ask you, I guess we can always start, do our own hashtag. Cause so many people have 21-day challenge. We'll figure something out and I'll let you know what we're going to do. Cause we're going to do this. We're definitely going to move and do this because
the hashtag's I am challenge.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good.
21-day I am challenge. And as you can imagine, it's how to reframe your life around what do you believe? But yeah, I mean, to be honest, Claudine, I'm sharing from those wounds. I'm sharing for those hurts. I'm sharing from those losses and the grievances, and I haven't had this like super success or anything without a ton of failures and a ton of distractions and a ton of, pushbacks. And, but now like the only thing I can do is, throw up my warning flags when I see them and wish that somebody had done it for me sooner.
Yes. And I hope you all didn't miss that too. She said she didn't get to where she is without, ton of stuff that you've gone through. The successes also came with, tests and trials and different things. So I hope you all also have heard that we don't just get to that place, just get up, get there, but you're going to go through things to not give up and not to give in. Thank you.
So no, you're making me think of things that I always like to share with people. The other thing is, birds of a feather flock together and how important it is to surround yourself with the like-mindedness of where you want to go and who you want to be around. And so, the best thing that people can do is get a life coach, is get plugged into a network, to get whatever. And so that you know what I mean? You become, it's almost like you are what you eat. You know what I mean? Like you are what you're around. And so, that's the other thing, is just making sure that everyone is surrounding themselves with people that they want to, aspire to or learn from. And then they are then doing it. They're then paying it forward. Then they're paying it back. They're pulling more people along with them.
Yes. That's good. Yes. So watch your association. I actually had shared that with someone the other day. We were talking, and I don't even know why I said it. I'm sure it was for a reason. I said, we have to be careful who we connect ourselves with. Like you just said, birds of a feather. We heard that growing up as a little girl. My mom would always say, be careful, show me your company. I'll tell you who you are. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Show me your company. The same thing. So also watch who you're connected to.
Yeah.
And just be very careful. Are they, drink? Because sometimes you can be connected to people and they just drain and always pulling and pulling and pulling. And I have to also, for myself, remind myself that not everyone is my assignment. I'm not, I can connect to people and do what needs to be done and keep going. But me, for some reason, like to hold on. I'm going to keep on holding on to you and help you with this thing where you've done your job, what the Lord has called you to do. Now get up, Claudine, and keep on going. So thank you for reminding that too, who you associate yourself also is also very plays a big part in that, also in your walk and your successes.
You reminded me of I was married I left right after year 11, and it took about 2 more years, and it was for a while. And when I was married, it was a Christian marriage, till death do you part, in sickness or in health, better for worse. So it was like, Claudine, it wasn't happening. Like, I didn't care how bad it was. I didn't care how toxic it was. You know what I mean? We had 4 babies. Like, I'm not leaving. And man, thank goodness God finally got a hold of me and asked me, why do you tolerate bad behavior? And why are you enabling this? And I think many times in my life, because I think like, oh, I'm going to, be their friend. I'm going to love them through. I'm going to be their friend. And really what I did is I enabled a lot of bad behavior. And it takes 2 to tango. And I think the addiction became worse because I became sick as well. My addiction was getting him better.
Yeah.
His addiction was drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both are equally bad.
Yes.
So when we tolerate that bad behavior, or we are enabling bad behavior, again, we're keeping them from their ultimate destiny, but we're definitely keeping ourselves.
Yes.
And you know, when it comes to who we're surrounding with or relationships that we're in tied to,
Yes.
one thing that, you know, I'd ask is, are you enabling bad behavior? You know, or are you allowing and, you know, enabling them for whatever it is?
Yes.
And because, you know, it's like, we want to help, we want to be there.
Yes.
Like, that's, you know, then we're not setting them free. We're not letting God be God. We're not we're in the way.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we're trying to do God's job when that's not what he called us to do. Yes, I definitely. Wow. So what, I know we're almost to the close. This is so good. It's going better than I thought it would, to be very honest. It's so good. I know you keep on saying, now that you said something, you kind of brought certain things back to your remembrance. And so what else, how did you, as far as the I Am clothing, how is that going? I saw there were a few ladies actually from the church I saw that were actually advertising and talking about it. Tell me a little bit more, if you don't mind, going back a little bit about your clothing brand.
Yeah, so I originally built the company to where people could buy the clothes and then sell them and have their own little micro businesses. I changed that business model because it's it's extremely expensive. And it wasn't the right business model for me. But that was when originally, people were promoting it and trying, you know, and selling it themselves. But we are an e-commerce brand, and meaning we're just online. Selling nationally, and really, just like you said, trying to raise awareness on the purpose of our clothing and being, you know, a purpose-driven company, not just another apparel brand. But I have learned everything from how to make clothes and manufacturing, product development, digital marketing, fulfillment, like you name it. But you know, I'm so glad it's been a huge learning curve, because I knew what a service-based business was, and I definitely didn't know what a product-based business was. But I'm actually at my warehouse, which is like right here. So
I was going to ask you, did you ever think that you have a clothing line?
No. And I don't even care about fashion.
Oh, really? Wow, that's fun. I think,
I don't shop, and I don't care about fashion. I mean, I'm like a t-shirt jeans type girl.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that funny? So no, never.
Just like God.
Yeah. I wanted to teach women how to do business, and then I wanted to like have something that you know, had a message attached to it. So
that is funny. The only thing I could think of, that's just like the Lord. You're like, I don't shop. I don't even really care about fashion, but here you are with a brand that people would love to wear. Because one of the things I love too is even with my jewelry, I like the I Am, and I forgot the jewelry that I forgot the name, the bracelet I just purchased, but it has not necessarily I Am, but it says bounce back. I can put my name on it, you know, what represents me in my season that I'm in. And I put on there bounce back, because that's what the Lord spoke to me going into 2021. Bounce back from anything. And so I love anything that represents, like you said, you know, who I am or where I am right now in my life. So that is so funny. And just like the Lord to allow you to start a clothing line. That is
it really is so funny. I mean, it's like really funny, because I'm like, I don't like, people are like, I'm going to go to fashion school. I'm like, I'm just going to make clothes. I don't know what I'm doing.
See,
and I figured
that's the thing, because similar to my daughter, I was like, you're into clothing, you should go to fashion school. She's like, why should I spend money? I said, I just see you doing this. And of course, she went for a while. She's like, Mom, this is not for me. And then later on, of course, although she said it's not for her, she's doing, well, she does customized things. You know, she does t-shirts, she designs t-shirts and do different things. And I'm like, yeah, that's just like the Lord. But I told you were supposed to do fashion, although she did not go to school, like I said. So it's like we carry so many things on the inside of us. And I just thank the Lord that in our season that we're in, different things I believe happen that kind of awakens those things on the inside of us. I don't know what you were going through as far as that allowed you or made you want to say, you know what, I think that's something I want to do, to allow me to remind women.
It was during my divorce. Yeah, it was those dark seasons. And so every night I started telling my kids to repeat after me.
Yes.
And every night we did, I am brave, I am strong, I am smart, I am forgiven. I am loved. I am kind. I'm healed. And still to this day, we do it every single night. Tell me who you are.
Yes. Amen. I love that. Actually, it's kind of hard when you have teenagers. She listened to my youngest was, I mentioned, 16. And she listened when she was younger, but now she's getting older. I said to her yesterday, we were out. I said, "Are you still do your declarations?" She kind of looked at me like, "What?" Or, your declarations, your affirmations. I said, "Well, if you've forgotten, let's go ahead and just do some now." Because I'm just like you. I do affirmations. I want to hear. I know the word says faith comes by hearing. And so to hear and to remind myself of who I am. So I applaud you. And also want to, those that are listening, to also to encourage you also to do those I am affirmations and or declarations. It really makes a difference when you begin to speak those things and you start believing what you're saying, because you're hearing it. And so to me, your body begins to act accordingly. It begins to line up with what you're saying. So thank you so much. And I actually just put it in the, I'm not sure how to do the comments thing, because once again, I'm kind of challenged when it comes to, this sort of stuff. April, I apologize, but I did put in our comments. Someone did ask for your website. So I did put it in here, the IamAprilReed.com, so they can sign up for the 21-day challenge. And I'm definitely going to speak with them, so I can probably just, like you just said, get a group going so we can do it and do the hashtag #IamChallenge, because this is something I definitely want to be a part of. I am ready for my life to be upgraded. I've bounced back from so many things that we've, all gone through things. I've bounced back because I cannot stay in that old. I've got to push into the new and be all that the Lord wants me to be. So you will definitely be hearing from me. So let me ask you this so are you, I know one of the things I loved about you is, I'm going to take it back, is that when it comes to balance, and excuse me for going back, when it comes to balance, some of the things that you do, you set boundaries. You have an incredible team, like you said, that takes care of certain things. And I admire you for saying that, as far as when it comes to balance, when your mom at this time, you drop them off at, at school, and then you're between 9 to 5 or whatever, you're in work mode. And, I really love it, because I know when they initially reached out to you, I'm like, "Well, can you do in the evening?" You're like, "Well, not really." And sometimes we try to bend. I have been guilty of bending instead of saying, "No, this is, family time." And because I respect you, because a lot of us don't do that. We want to bend, but I want to encourage those that listen, do not bend, but to stand on those boundaries, spend those time, because if you don't, you're going to be pouring from an empty cup. You're going to be worn out. You're going to just, have nothing to give. So once again, I applaud you, April, and thank you for finding balance. It's probably why you look so young, girl, because you found balance. I'm not doing it. No, ma'am, I can't do anything after 7. That's family time. So that's really good. That is so good.
And lots of sleep. I love my sleep, Claudine. Let's be honest.
Me too. I'm guilty.
I love me some sleep.
And that's the problem. I have a friend that calls me, and she's an older lady, and she'll say, "Hey, daughter, where are you? Under your blanket?" Yes, I am. I don't care what weather it is. It could be 80 degrees. I have my fuzzy socks on, and I'm under my blanket somewhere. Me too. I love
funny. I know. I'm like, well, it's time for bed.
Yes, I definitely do. But once again, thank you so much for those that are listening. I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation. I have truly had a great time. Is there any closing remarks? I know we've touched on a few things. I have truly been encouraged. Is there any last thing that you'd like to share? Because I respect your time, of course, April.
No, just thank you for having me. And I just hope that this inspired some people. But no, I mean, thank you. Thank you for letting me share my story. And I would encourage everybody to share theirs, and knowing that there's power in it. And so to me, the more vulnerable I can become, the more like I feel, alive, because I just think that there's stories to be shared, and we all have them. And we need to hear from each other, so we can, all upgrade together.
Yes. And I was going to say, in the beginning of my broadcast, I usually say too, it's real life people sharing real solutions, because we've all gone through things. Sometimes we try to say, well, she's so successful. She's, she has this and she has that, so surely she's not going through. So thank you once again for being vulnerable, for being open and sharing your testimony.
You got it. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. Once again, it will be the podcast will more than likely be uploaded sometimes when I figure it out. Thank y'all so much once again. I hope you all were blessed and encouraged, and just move in hope. We love you all. Thank y'all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay.